Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my first trimester recap. I am now 13 weeks pregnant, which means I'm officially in the second trimester, which everyone has said and everything that I've read is the honeymoon trimester. Yesterday I saw baby, everything is going splendidly. I can't believe how fast baby has grown since the last time I saw it. It was just really exciting. Even though I really wanted to see the facial profile, baby was facing my back and smushing its face into my back. So I couldn't see the facial profile, and it was also sitting on its legs. So it just looked so funny. But I have to say the coolest thing from yesterday's ultrasound was the spine. Like, to know how small baby is, I think it's the size of a peach now. Knowing how little the bones and the heart and everything is, it's so cool. Anyways, I want to do a recap for each trimester. Every woman and every pregnancy is so different, so I want to share my experiences and everything that I have felt through each trimester. So today we're going to talk about the first trimester. Let's get into it. I'll start with the symptoms. Morning sickness is definitely a real thing. It hit me around 5 weeks. And it would only happen when I was in the car, whether I was driving or whether I was a passenger. So that was really strange because I normally do not get motion sickness. Now around 6 weeks is when it started happening all day, every day, in the car, out of the car, whatever it was, I was sick. I would feel very queasy, very nauseous, just obviously wanting to throw up every minute of every day pretty much. But I can actually count on one hand the number of times that I actually physically threw up. So that was fantastic. Sore boobs is another thing. I had really sore boobs, and that started around 5 weeks as well. Now my boobs get sore kind of around my period, but this is like 10 times worse. So if anyone would graze against my boob, I would want to cry. Or if I was walking down the stairs and there was a little bounce, I would want to cry. It hurts so bad. And they also seemed like they grew overnight, which was very interesting. I'm sure my husband liked that, and I would probably enjoy it if they didn't hurt so much. Exhaustion and fatigue. This is something that I had a really hard time with because when I wasn't at the gym training clients, I was in bed or on the couch completely exhausted. And I had a hard time with that because normally I love having energy and I love being productive. So when I was feeling sluggish and unproductive, it made me feel really lazy, and it was hard for me to get used to. But what I read in my pregnancy book is that the reason pregnant women are so tired is because of what our insides are doing. It's basically the equivalent of running a marathon. So that is why we're so tired all the time. And honestly, my energy hasn't come back fully just yet, but I'm waiting. Morning sickness is gone, energy, I'm waiting for it to come back full force. So as far as my moods go, I blew up on Matt like 1 or 2 times. Like, little things set me off like crazy, and I would turn into a mad woman, and I felt really bad afterwards. It's just like a switch goes off and you're like, what the fuck, and you just explode. So it's the silliest things. One time he was late and I just completely screamed at him. And then another time he didn't feed the dogs like when I asked him to. He did it like 2 minutes later, and it really pissed me off, so I just flipped out. And as far as emotions and crying, I am already a really emotional person, so I cry during Facebook posts, movies, songs. It doesn't matter. I cry during everything. I'm just very emotional as a person. And with pregnancy, it definitely escalated. I remember one specific time. I always cry during the show This Is Us, but one night I broke down after watching the show. I was brushing my teeth in the bathroom and I just started violently sobbing, like to the point where you can't breathe, where your nose is running. And I was brushing my teeth, so I had like toothpaste and drool just running down my face. I looked like an insane person. And I remember Matt walking in and he just looked terrified, and then he looked confused, and then he just started laughing. He said, "You need to look in the mirror because you look crazy." I looked in the mirror and I really did. I looked like I had rabies, like foaming at the mouth. So yeah. Now food. This one was an interesting one. As far as cravings go, I really craved orange juice. I also really craved grilled cheeses and salt and vinegar chips. That was like my go-to lunch, a grilled cheese, salt and vinegar chips, and orange juice. Not the healthiest thing, but that is definitely what I wanted. And then as far as other cravings go, those kind of changed day to day, but if I wanted something, I wanted it. So I would think about pad thai all day until I got it, or I would think about tacos all day until I got those. So those kind of cravings just came and went, but the other three things were pretty constant cravings. And then as far as food aversions, I couldn't do runny eggs, or really eggs in general. They really turned me off and grossed me out. I remember one specific time my sister made spicy Italian sandwiches, which normally I love. And the smells were really getting to me, and I just couldn't stomach it. I had one bite and I couldn't do it. I felt really bad. Another thing that was strange regarding food was I couldn't plan ahead. So I couldn't plan my meals for the week. I couldn't even plan dinner. Like if it was the morning and I was like, are we gonna have steak tonight? Are we gonna have chicken? I couldn't do that because thinking about food in future tense made me really nauseous. Those are really all the symptoms of the first trimester that I experienced. Oh, I forgot. I had to pee all the time. I still do. It wakes me up in the middle of the night and I have to get up, go pee, and just try and go back to sleep, which is really annoying. Now, aside from symptoms, the things that I felt during the first trimester and still feel are just excitement. Like, I'm just so excited to be pregnant, and I get so excited to see the baby at each appointment. It's just unreal. I cry every time. It's the most special thing ever. I'm so excited. The first trimester was a little bit rough, but it's so worth it. It's all so worth it, and I'm just savoring every day of this pregnancy because I feel like it's gonna go by fast, which I do want it to because I want to meet baby, but I also want to enjoy this time as well because it is my first pregnancy and it's just a really, really special time. So aside from being excited, especially in the first trimester, there was a lot of fear. In the first trimester, there's a higher chance of miscarriage, and that is always something that was in the back of my mind, and it did scare me, especially with the things that I read online and people's stories. You can't help but be fearful. At one point, I remember that fear was kind of overtaking my joy for the pregnancy, and I just had to step away from the internet and step away from all the fearful stories I was reading online because it was really getting to me. I think it's definitely important to be realistic with pregnancy and know that there are risks and there are complications and there is that chance of loss, but at the same time, you can't let that fear completely take away your joy and your excitement for your pregnancy. Now that I am in the second trimester and the chances of a miscarriage are much more slim now, I feel definitely more comforted, and especially since I saw baby yesterday at 12 weeks, 6 days, just about 13 weeks, and everything was great. It makes me feel a lot better. You know, there's still always risks, but I'm just gonna stay optimistic and so happy and excited for the rest of this pregnancy. And yeah, another thing that I feel is so much love for Matt, so much more love for Matt. I feel like I want to be on top of him all the time, like just not on top of him like that, but just touching or holding his hand or just being next to him, because the love I have for him has escalated so much more somehow because we are having a baby and because I see him excited, and now we have like a different kind of bond, a big change coming. I just like love him so much. So yeah, my feelings toward him are just going up and up and up. I bet when he was here, because right now he's on tour, he was probably so annoyed because I just wanted to be next to him all the time. It's been a little strange not having him here, but I'm really glad that at least he's not here as I'm in this better stage. If he wasn't here when I was feeling miserable, I would be really, really bummed out and have a hard time. So those are the symptoms and the feelings of my first trimester. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.